Okay, very warmly welcome to everyone, wherever you are, whether you are watching me live or offline recording. Um, many happy returns of the day for year 2023. I wish everyone get more prosperous, everyone get more closer to the reality, more success, more money, more better and improved relationships, and helping yourself to removing any traumas of your life, any addiction in your life, and making you every day more productive. And that's my prayer for you, or for myself as well. And let's start our today's class. So I will welcome to my today's class. Basically, we are learning an online free course on how to quit any addiction. So any addiction is our online course. We started around 5 weeks ago, and this course is about anybody who is struggling on their lifestyle, their thinking pattern, and they are stuck on couple of annoying and guilty based things, such as um if somebody is addicted of drugs, somebody is consuming alcohol too much, smoking too much, um, drugs, any kind of drugs too much. If anybody is addiction has addiction of screen time, nowadays is a big issue. Uh, all the time, or most of the time, on screen of their mobile or computer or on internet. If somebody is addiction of food, um, somebody a lot of you know that half of the American population is rated as obese, unfortunately, uh, because of some sort of degree of addiction uh, we have, not only in America but every part of the world now. They have a food addiction. They have serious health concern. In UK, especially here as well, um, because of our lifestyle, because of thinking pattern, because of some genetic thing, or most of the thing, environmental thing, and a lot of factor involves. Also, you will be getting help if somebody is addiction have addiction of sorry, addiction of having a sexual too much sexual activities through different means, especially on internet online pornography, and and very explicit material is available, and people are very addicted in the, especially teenage, adult, and actually all ages are addicted as well. Video games is the biggest temptation for many people. So a lot of people, they do too much shopping. This is also addiction. Too much shopping. Lot of people have a craze to become millionaire, and they, if even if they get the money, they earn the money, they don't stay calm. They need more money. They need more. So it is addiction as well. There is no work-life balance in the life. People are very biased uh, and partial in their life, in terms of thought, in terms of uh, lifestyle. So this is also sort of addiction. So and there are so many addiction which I did not name it. These are the very few popular addiction behavior we come across. Myself, anybody can be addicted, or was addicted, or is addicting, or will have potentially addictive in near future. So this course is for you, to making you more preventive, making you giving you a cure. But remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist. So do it. Any information which I'm providing, I'm teaching you, that is only based on your own um, uh, understanding what I am telling you. And what I'm telling you basically is not really myself, but the man who is on my screen, the Dr. David Hawkins, who was influential psychiatrist and a member of church as well, who was a spiritual guru as well, and he has phenomenal writing and teaching. So I'm speaking on his behalf, voluntarily, free of charge. I'm doing this. So let's go for today's class. Uh, Last four classes we did introduction in week one. Week two we did learn about what are the truth dimensions behind any addiction, and then we did discuss about the energy field behind addiction. Then we did learn why we need to give addiction, why it is. It's okay if somebody is addicted, as far as uh, he or she is happy, no problem. But we seen that the after or during the addictive behavior, many people have seriously physical and mental health problem that becomes increased and leveraged until severe consequences may happen, in terms of many diseases, including death. So a lot of people they die as well as a sake, as a in a addictive behavior, especially people who are too much alcoholic, too much drugs they are using. Uh, they do, a lot of people they die because of traumas, because of stroke, because of heart attack, because of their too much inclination towards their addictive behavior. They can't live without doing that thing or involving that thing. So it's seriously, that's is a life-threatening problem. I'm not joking with you. I'm very serious about it. This is very serious thing I'm sharing with you, and you have a reason to listen to me, to watch me. So today we will learning and reading in detail. So how from Dr. Hawkins' writing, the process of consciousness is in recovering. That once the person is addictive, when anybody has addiction, how that person will come out, will recover step by step, one, two, three, back to the original state. So it is amazing learning for you. Uh, I have my colleague with me, so we will be reading all together, and yeah. So and you can join me also every Sunday. Apart from this course, um, I'm conducting these classes every Sunday from last 1 and more than 1 year. And will I have a plan to continue this year? So every Sunday, 1 hour, 60 minutes, if you will be persistent and consistent with me, I'm sure that you will improve the quality of thought uh, and success rate in your personal life, and will helpful a lot for you. So let's go and start our study for today, and how the process of uh, recovery from the any addiction started. So consider that you are addict. You can make a list of addiction or main one or two addiction which you feel guilty and you want to get out, uh, and you are finding a way out to from the addiction. And now keeping that thing in your mind, now you are going to read with me, okay? And slowly, you will see, you will find a path where you will come out, okay? So you will definitely come out from that recovery, uh, during that recovery process, I mean. So, and next Sunday, it will be the last episode in this course where we will learn actually step by step, 12 step by step, 12 stages of recovery. But here we will learn how this process of recovery will happen on a conscious level. Like when I say the conscious level, it does mean that once you, from your mind, you will change your conscious state, and that conscious state will help you to have a way out from any addiction automatically. I mean, you don't need any drugs, you don't need anything to come out. Just intellectually and spiritually, you need to be aware. This course is about awareness, and that awareness will lead you to take you out any addiction. It's so simple. You don't need any thousands dollars or thousands of pounds to come out from addiction. Just a text and sincerity and focus on what we are learning and reading from Dr. Hawkins' book. Um, so I'm on Zoom with my Zoom audience. I have my colleague Jenny with me, and she and me both will be reading. Uh, and yeah, so let's start our today's first paragraph, and then we will go on. I think we have one, two, three, four, five, six, I think around 10 paragraphs. So stay with me and keep focus. If you are watching the recording, then put the comment below if you need any sort of help from me. So let's start our today's class. So I would ask Jenny if she can start it, and then we go from there.
The beginning steps of recovery, ironically, often look like failure. Attempts to break the habit lead to discouragement at the failure to do so, a nameless terror, and perhaps hospitalization and paranoia. Going off the sedatives creates fear. Going off the uppers leads to depression. Apathy and grief arrive as soon as the drug is taken away because there's hopelessness in the face of never being able to experience those incredible states again.
Excellent. Thank you. It's a great reading. Before we going into the details, what the Jenny has read, or I will read, or some other our participant will read. Mostly content is circulating about map of consciousness. So maybe you can Google it, Map of Consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, and it will help you to, and I will encourage you to open it on your computer or mobile screen. Map of Consciousness is right here on my Zoom screen. Um, but obviously, we need to read as well. So, what I will do, and that map of consciousness um, should open all the time today in a separate window. So let me try to uh, yes, let me save it, and I will, yeah, I will save it. Let me see, and then side by side, it will help me for uh, making you understand from the map of consciousness. Just bear with me. Give me just 1 minute. I will opening this map of consciousness from here. Where is the map of consciousness? Here is gone. Okay, is where is map of consciousness? Mhm. Okay, so no problem. What I will do, I will take a screenshot and then I will add it. Here's my screenshot, and then I will do it. Because if we will not focus on this map of consciousness, then our objective of true learning will not be achieved. So let me now show here. Okay. So I have opened here. Okay. Here is separate. Okay. So I will be doing sharing here. Okay. Okay. And then I will increase this so that I can add my slide here. Uh, yeah, here. And where is gone? Where is the others? Mm, here it go. So I need to actually take both at the same time. Here and no. Okay, here is good. And should be at the same time both. Come on. So if I will do, I will increase it here and here. Okay. Uh, and where we were here. Uh, I can make it little bit bigger as well. Here. Okay. Here and this one. So yeah. So Jenny, hi Javeria, welcome to our class. Can you tell me, are you able to read still both section?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I can see.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. So now the Jenny just mentioned about here the couple of terms: fear, depression, grief, apathy. Yeah, and then obviously any person is who has addiction and he or she wants to recover from it. um Initially that person will fail because on a first go or after a couple of making few attempts that person will not be successful because of his or her addictive behavior, and that will take him or her to hospitalize, to contact the psychologist or psychiatrist or a coach or something. So why? Because he or she have fear, depression, apathy, and grief. Now look into our map of consciousness. Okay. Now apathy, fear. Okay, and these are leading to depression and fear. Okay, uh, and they are on a very lower emotional state. If you see, these are and these are related. These are because of tragic, many tragedies happened in your life. You have learned the concept of evil, and you are related evil in your life in many dimension, many situation. You feel you are miserable, you are in fear and frightening state, you have disappointments, so these are all your addictive behavior starts, and you have addiction because of your emotional state of mind here. And it has a very low from shame, you guilt, apathy, grief, fear. So its energy level is 20, 30, 50, 75, and 100. So it is a terrible state of your consciousness. Okay. And and that's why you are have addiction. Okay, if you are too much alcoholic, if you are taking drugs, if you are taking sleeping pills, if you are taking if you are smoker, if you are in sexual too much sexual activities, which is not socially acceptable, if you are making money, if you are doing too much shopping, if you have a violent behavior in addictive manner, then these are the reason. Okay, and that's from there we will come. Now what the process of recovery will start, what will happen, we will start to go higher at every state, every day by day, uh, on a higher level. And once we will here on a love and joy level, okay, after a couple of days and weeks or months, or even many people for years, when you are at state of joy, okay, without any addictive substance. When I say the addictive substance, it means heroin, it means alcohol, it means drugs, it means uh, porn stuff, it means physical money or money, too much money in a bank. Without these, you will feel joy. Without these things, you will feel immense love within you. You will be more courageous person. Okay, that state of mind, once you will get without addictive substance, that is your starting of ending of addiction and starting your spiritual happier journey forever. And then you need to maintain it as well. Okay, it's not that one time you will go on a joyful or love mode or higher level, and then that's it, your job is finished. No, it's a continuous effort to maintain, keep working on, because remember, we are in survival mode in this planet Earth. I'm living in London, somebody's living in India, Pakistan, somebody's living in America, somebody's living in Australia, or any part of the world. We are on survival mode. We need bread, butter, house, money, health. These are all our survival mode. And that survival mode will not help me to come out from addiction. So until I will spiritually sounded, I will highly intellectual sounded person, so that I can be on a joyful mode without any cigarette, without any bottle of wine, without any other relationship, uh, worldly relationships. So that is going to you are going to achieve. It's not a small thing. It's not a tiny thing. It's a big thing which I'm sharing with you. It's a mind blowing thing. If you can understand what I'm trying to say here, that you are going to be a super happy person from heart, organically, forever almost. Okay, without any substance, and that we are learning now. How we will go, uh, the 12 steps process will we will learn next Sunday, but here we are going to learn the details, how our lower emotion will little bit up and will go in next higher emotion, and then little bit up, and then little bit up, and that's until we so try to visualize this. Imagine you are addictive in some addiction, and now you start to come out from your mind consciousness. Okay, right now in my class, okay, it's not a ordinary thing, it's a very highest teaching. Okay, it's not my teaching, but I'm a communicator. Okay, it is proven on a spiritual level and in a clinical level, because Dr. David Hawkins was practicing all these things with his thousands of patients. Okay, So we are blessed that we are knowing these things. Okay. So let's go. And okay. So I would ask next Javeria if you can read it with me.
Yeah, firstly, have a blessed new year to both of you, Jenny and Sir.
No problem. You're very welcome. Happy New Year too.
Let
And
today.
no problem.
Yeah, so when going off the substance that does not work, there are attempts to increase the amount of alcohol and drugs, cover up the growing dependence due to shame and guilt, which further spread the
Okay.
negativity to every area of life, work, reputation, finance, relationship, and personal care. There may be visits and recovery meeting just to check it out, or by court order, but the sense provides no hope. My case is different. It works for them, but not for me. Or Krieger, Pride, and Daniel, Dean, Daniel, Daniel. Is what the word is this? Denial.
Denial.
Denial. Denial. I don't have anything in the common. In common. Anything in common with those losers.
Thank you. It's a great reading, Javeria. I appreciate. So now the problem is in addiction, what happens every day or every time your dose of the substance is increasing. And that's why you are addiction. For example, if you are drinking alcohol or you are smoking cigarette, um, it cannot be maintained or sustained on a same quantity what you were taking. Um, Researches shows, survey shows, the addictive substance quantity will always increase gradually. Why? Because the same quantity when it gives you pleasure, the next time your mental happier mode, which requires dopamine or releasing some chemical which makes you happy, it will not release until you will increase the quantity of addictive substance. And then what happens? You will take definitely more substance. You will take more wine bottles. You will take more cigarette packets. You will um, stay more in sexual material. If you are watching or you are involving any this type of behavior. If you earn, let's say, $1 million or £1 million already, now you will be satisfied when it will become $2 million or £2 million. And once it will be £3 million or $3 million, then you will not happy or you will not confined on this. You will be not thankful on this. You need now $4 or $5 million, and then it will go. So this addictive behavior um, spreads all across your addictive lifestyle. So and now this is a big danger because there is no limit of this thing. And eventually you will collapse. Eventually your health will give you the answer. Sorry, it's too much burden on me, my friend. Your body will speak with you. I can't maintain, it's too much. You are using me. And you will be victim of heart attack, blood pressure, diabetes, sugar patient. You may have a risk of the trauma, brain tumor, dementia, stroke. A lot of things will be at risk. So that is a alarming thing. And Now, let's go further. Now, we will not discuss a lot of things because we have so many readings to do now before we go to the next class. So, now what will happen? So, let's start it further. Now, before we reading, and Jenny will read it, um, imagine that you are addictive, okay, and you are at the lowest here. If you see my cursor, you are at shame state. You think that life is miserable, life is pathetic, okay, and you are humiliating yourself, and it's a terrible state of mind, yeah. And now you want to go for joy level, step by step, without substance, without addictive substance. Remember. And now we are going to this. We have 20 minutes, okay? And in 20 minutes, we will cover a lot of reading, okay? So I would request Jenny if she can start further.
When a person seeks treatment for an addiction, they are usually at the bottom of the map of consciousness, filled with self hatred, regret, and despondency. The energy field of apathy, 50, with its hopelessness and despair, is one in which the person cannot help themselves. Hopeless means just that. For example, the president of a country bar association for attorneys literally died of starvation while living alone in a rooming house. He was addicted to a combination of Valium and alcohol. He never picked up the phone to call anybody for help. A person of that caliber has many friends, all of whom would have dropped everything to help him, but he felt there was no point in making the phone call because there was no hope. That hopelessness of one's condition often expresses itself as you may well recover from this, but my case is hopeless.
Thank you. It's amazing and great reading, Jenny. Um, yeah, it's a it is very hopeless when a person is very hopeless. Majority we are hopeless because of our addictive behavior. Now remember, this hopelessness is not because of tragedy or something happened in your life. This hopelessness is because of your addictive behavior. And like in this example, that person who is a president of the country bar association, he died, okay, because he was too much alcoholic person. He was addicted and he started to live alone. mm, and then he died eventually, and that is very common. I see a lot of people in my life, my friend and family, my very close friends, they died because of drug, and they were very young age. I remember one was just 24 years old, and he died because of drug addiction. And it was very painful for me and for his family, but and a lot of other people. Uh, because there is no awareness, there is no guidance, there is no way out to for this. That's why in America, in Afghanistan, in UK, in Saudi Arabia, in China, in Japan, in Australia, in India, um, in Pakistan, in Africa, everywhere, drug addiction is on peak. People are more drug addictive than before. They are being multiplied um, by millions every year, adding and adding. Why? Because people uh, uh, are on these lowest emotion level because of many reasons. Yeah, I'm not discussing here reasons, social reasons or economic reasons or intellectual reasons or stuff. I'm just sharing here how to come out from that addiction. Okay, and hopelessness is the very least uh, and lowest emotion from starting. But there is a good news. Let's go for the next one. In the level of apathy, the God is dead for the person. Hmm. And all we can do is pour energy into them. The process going on within consciousness is that of the loss of energy. The person is de-energized, blank, and totally dispirited. The answer is to pour energy into that person through concern, lovingness, physical presence, nutrition, and every other possible way to move them up to the next level field of grief. Hmm. Do you see, the people or doctors or psychologists, they help the person from hopelessness to the next level of, which is little higher, negative emotion, grief. It's a next step. mm, because you can't go directly to joyfulness. Um, The grief, which has a 75 on here, if you see here, grief is 75 energy level, has to do with the past. And when the person comes out of a blank, shock like state, they begin to cry and regret the loss that all the addiction has costed them. Okay. Uh, many people, they have addiction for ages, many years. Okay. And now they have a regret. Okay. They are what they have done with their life, why they started smoke, why he or she started badly the wine, or started to watch pornography, start to making money and indulge in become a money maker and gambling and every addiction. This there is a regret along with a feeling of self-pity and sorrow for the fact that they are in rehabilitation facility or wherever their addiction has landed them. Okay. They are sad about the life and their addiction and feel completely abandoned by the God. So here the problem happens. In our life, we see a lot of people who curse the God and who blame the God. Oh God, why you did with me? Um, why you allowed me to take these addictive substance or any addiction. So you blaming the God, and for many people the God is dead. They don't believe on God. And when it means they don't believe on God, it means that there is no hope, there is no peace, and they decided there is no way to out. That is the biggest emotion, thought in the people. Let's go further. Okay. And let's see what is the next level. So I would ask Jenny if you can read it, please.
At this level, there is regret about the past, so we move the person's energy field up to the next level, which is fear. At this point, the person begins to fear the addiction, aided by worry and anxiety. Fear has to do with the future. The person is no longer in an inflated, overdrawn state of denial. On the contrary, they are deflated. The world looks frightening, and they may feel that God is punishing them for their past sins. They misinterpret the addiction as a punishment and fear, more punishment and further loss in the future. We see how the energy of each level, if they work with it, can move them up to the energy to the next. The person transcends the fear of the addiction by desiring something better, desire at 125. Once they tire of being a victim of wanting and craving, they move up to anger.
Excellent. It's amazing reading. So now, if you go into the map of consciousness, the person who is addictive, um, he or she is from is the next level of getting more better. So from grief, it is now converted into fear. From fear, now he or she has a desire. Okay, of course, is a desire to be better, um, to come out from this, after moaning, after cursing myself or stuff. And that will create the anger as well, of course, no problem. So here is now, okay? Here, what that person will still have hate, that person may have aggressive behavior, okay? That person um, is in the denial state as well, disappointing as well, okay? But no problem, don't worry. You are progressing, you are helping yourself to go to the higher state without any addiction. It's a good news. So anybody who is still anger, who has desire, who is with the fear, there is hope and there is a path to come out. So he or she is on a right path, and you can be guide for that person, and that person must be intellectually aware that if you have a anger or if you have desire or at the state of pride, don't worry, you are very close to come out from your addiction. Come on, man. It's very just one or two level, and next level is your courage, and from courage you are now giving up your addiction. From courage you are going to go in a neutrality. You are going to removing your biases and your any addictive substance, or you are now going to use your addictive substance very less, maybe once in a month, or because now you are getting your happiness from other way, okay? And this is the best thing which we can know from this map of consciousness, okay? So let's go further, and I would ask uh, Javeria, if you can read it, please.
Anger has a lot more energy than fear and desire, and so the energy of anger can be very useful. Not the form of anger itself, but the energy of anger in which they become angry over their predic- predica- predicament
Yeah,
in life and being the victim. This anger can be used in a constructive way as a turning point away from defi- defeatism. Defeatism is
yeah,
this a word?
yeah.
Pride. Move them out of hopelessness and into doing something as a matter of pride by taking action and beginning to move up into caring for themselves and their position. And this then is the move towards the next energy field of courage.
Excellent. Very good reading. Thank you. So you see that we are now at the courageous level, where your energy level, your conscious level is 200. Fantastic. Good progress you are making. Okay. You feeling little uh, or even more empowered. You have very positive vibes. Okay. And and that's a great news for you. Okay. Let's go further. And that let me read it for you. The courage to tell the truth is a crucial step in recovery. Okay, we see the powerful effect of the first of the 12 steps in Alcoholic Anonymous. Um, so, for example, you can write here your addiction and your name. For example, I'm addict, so I can write, for example, have addiction of smoking cigarette. So I can read this line like this. We see the powerful effect of first of the 12th step in smoking Maratib. Okay. So whatever the addiction, you can rename it. Okay, because the basic all addictive substance have the same process to remove it, to quit it. The admission that once is the powerless over the alcohol or drugs or any addiction you have, which now allows you for the capacity to face, cope, handle, and be appropriate. Okay. It represents re-empowerment. The world is then seen as an opportunity. And for the first time, there is the benefit of an open mind. Oh, amazing. This is an amazing state of mind you are getting now. And the truth now has a way to enter the mind. The pride 175 have energy level, according to this consciousness, can be utilized to move the person up into the courage 200. Okay. And look at the facts. Doing so provide encouragement to move up to the next position, which is neutrality, which have an energy or conscious level, emotional level is 250. Fantastic. That of the letting go of resisting the facts and the being released from that resistance in order to begin to view the life as okay place. Now, this life is okay. This world is fantastic place and good place to live. Before, that person is cursing the world. That person was banging the door. I don't want to live the what this bullshit is, what the F is this, and what the mess is this world, and blah blah blah. There is no God and blah. Now at this stage, he's saying it's okay. This world is okay place. Okay, so this is a biggest achievement so far that addictive person is. Remember, this is the addictive person who was going to suicide, who was in a guilty, who may be depend on other or who have dependent in the family. All are suffering, all were suffering, okay? And if that person is going away from addictive substance, all whole family is going to be happier. It's not a matter of one person, it's a matter of uh, your whole family and then the whole society and the town. I remember one of my house neighbor. uh, that person is a heavily drunken person, and he used to fight with the wife every day. And one day the wife called the police, um, because of his too much aggressive and angry, and physical abusive behavior. And then the police took the wife, and they have one child away from that drunken person, and allow him and give him the space to realize your behavior is not tolerable. You cannot hit or you cannot call your family member, wife, or your son, your child, and they cannot live with you. You don't deserve to live with them. And imagine what the lonely that person will have next day when there will be no wife and no child in the house. And that I was the eyewitness. And then after a few days, that person start to feel alone, and I feel the bang on the walls of cry when, because he was alone and he was drinking, but he was alone. He was missing his wife and child, and that make him realize that this is not acceptable. And then after I think few weeks after, his wife came back, and now they are living happy. I mean, I'm not saying they happily. That person is still drinking, but of course, in a limited way. But that behavior will again will increase, and they will may have a fight again, and they, because of he's still addict. So addiction is still the problem. Okay, is the biggest problem everywhere across our neighbor and other. So let's go. We have only two paragraphs left, and then we will finish our class. So I would ask Jenny if you can read it, please.
The inner release allows the person to experience inner freedom to explore, expand, and then move up to the willingness to say yes to life's opportunities, join in the exploration, and agree to align with it. At willingness, the person thus develops the capacity to see the whole recovery process in a world that is friendly, and they view Alcoholics Anonymous and other recovery programs as promising and hopeful. They feel optimistic that yes, they will recover.
Yeah, excellent. You see, when there is a willingness level, now that person must join any recovery programs. Okay, that must a person must help himself or herself um, to join many recovery courses, which will help that person to come out, and that person will come out very easily in maybe couple of classes, in couple of session. Um, uh, Now, because now he or she is at this stage, okay, now he or she needs just a one or two push, okay, and then it will be there will be no addiction at all in with that person. So now that person is at the stage of acceptance, which have 350 state of love, which is brilliant. It's a very powerful energy field where they realize the inner power to make these decisions. Confidence, a feeling of adequacy and transformation occur through experiencing that the world is harmonious. Wow, what a beautiful achievement that person is doing from being addictive. On the one hand, life has presented the person with a problem, but on the other hand, it has also provided the answer. A merciful God or Allah provides the solution. So, although they may have an addiction, there are hundreds of thousands of people around who have found the answers and are only too willing to be helpful. The person moves up to the next level. It is reason. Awesome, amazing. Now he or she is intellectually making him or herself rich at the energy level 400. Now, probably he or she is reading books more about his or her addiction, or about spirituality, or becoming a successful and
In
balanced
13
person,
hours.
is poured into the education to understand the science of addiction and its impact on the mental, incorporating many medical resources and use philosophies into one self understanding. Did you see? Now his or her mind is willingly to accept new reasons. Okay. And the last thing, I would ask Javeria if you can read this last paragraph, and then we will finish our today's class.
With the letting go of the intellect, focus on acquiring knowledge. The person beings to value their beingness, and an energy field of lovingness emerges, 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 with which is in a completely different paradigm, committed paradigm of spirituality, guided and coming from the heart. The person has committed to an energy field that is healing by joining one of the two step groups. Those energy whose energy is in the is in initiating healing, innately healing. AA collaborates at 550. 540, the person willing 540, the person willingness to align with it and to accept the healing is essential. Through that willingness, that then comes acceptance to of the real necessity to be in the in an energy field that is nursing, nur, nur, nurturing, supportive, nurturing, supportive, understanding, and unconditionally loving. That is feel people of know they are in a safe space, and that staying in it ensures that so sobriety and thus survival. With the experience come the joy and the beginning and the beginning of experiencing an inner sincerity, inner ser, serenity, serenity,
Serenity. Yeah.
serenity, and seeing the perfection or and oneness of the energy field of which the person is now an part, integral part.
Thank you. Uh, Excellent reading. Thank you very much, Javed. Yeah. And you see now the person has increased the level of the consciousness from reason to love and then joy. Okay. And that now he or she is complete, satisfied, feeling one. Okay. He has a great emotion of serenity. Okay. And because he has covered these stages of love as well. Now that person will love everyone, with the wife, with the husband, with the children, with the parents, with their colleagues, worker, with everyone or all nation, because that person is full of love now. Okay, and the joyfulness, uh, and he or she will feel same when he or she used to smoke the cigarette, when he or she used to um, uh, have the drugs or the heroin or alcohol. So he or she now no longer needs anything, because why he used to be addictive with addictive substance, with the with the drugs or tablets or stuff like that, because he wants to experience higher self. He or she wanted to experience higher emotional level. Now he is on emotional level without this substance. Now he or she is no longer need wine bottle, smoking cigarette, or any porn websites, or any money making crazy stuff, or any other addictive substance. So that is a balanced and complete person, and that's an ideal person now he or she has become. That's how it will go gradually, step by step. So, and that's it. And that's our week 5 is closed. And next week, which is a 12 steps in removing the blocks, um, we only the last episode is left, and then we will connect with the action exercises as well. Couple of practical um, exercises we will be sharing, taking action and notes for any addictive behavior if we have, or if our friend and family or colleagues have, then we can just help themselves or ourselves. So I would like to, if somebody wants to have any thought or question, or having any criticism or any your own thought, most welcome to share your feelings.
Well, I can share one thing, and it's not a feeling, it's just something that happened. But I had an uncle that was a really bad alcoholic, and he decided to quit drinking, and he didn't tell anyone. And so he ended up going into the hospital, into ICU, because and anyone would have helped him, we didn't know he did that. but he had some sort of like physical reaction, a mental reaction when he quit. So I think if someone's going to stop their addiction, they do need to get some medical advice first as to what they're going to be looking at and what level that, like he was drinking like vodka all day long. So he couldn't just stop without DTs, but he didn't know that. And we asked him, we said, why did you do that and not tell us? We would have helped you. And he said, well, I didn't know if I could do it, so I didn't want to disappoint anyone. And so I thought I would try it first, and then I would tell you after 30 days. So he just didn't know that he couldn't do that without some assistance because it was that bad, not many years.
Amazing. Yeah. And what make, I mean, what the intellectual or spiritual dimension your uncle uh, felt or know when he decided to quit the alcohol? Did he share with you, or you get to know this?
Well, he just got tired of feeling guilty all the time about his lifestyle. He was not being his 100%. He knew he could be better. He was a very successful man before, and then he became a drunk. And he wasn't
Yeah.
working and just, turned into something so sad, and miserable when he used to be so
Yeah.
happy and,
Yeah.
good at everything. So he just missed himself and he
Yeah.
felt guilty for what he looked like to himself and to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. That is many people have their own different stories. Some people they go through these stages one by one through their gurus, their mentors, their spiritual leaders. They if they are really one-on-one attached with them. Other people they jump from one emotion to and skip couple of stages and go to the next and then next and many times there are paradigm shifts happens, and a person who was a bad person or who was too much addict person in something, eventually his or her life changed within a moment, and in the next moment he or she is totally a different person. It means that his or her consciousness went directly, swiftly to the higher stage of joyfulness, love, peace, reason. Excuse me. So that person is also a reality. With so like Jenny's uncle. So probably he went through 2, 3 stages rather than 10 or 12 or 15 stages when he quit that addictive substance, which is alcohol. Many people they go in one stage or two stage and directly forever for joyful on a joyful mode, and that is a blessing. Really the life is so blissful for them on that stage, and they feel they are so grateful for God, for Allah, whatever the God they believe on, and it is reality. But majority people, unfortunately, they are not able to come out, whether swiftly from jumping to the lowest emotion to the higher energy field, um, because they don't know even these energy, they don't have this awareness. And even if they are too blessed or lucky and they jump from lowest emotion to higher emotion in one or two go, they are very infraction people, okay? They are not all the time. Um, but of course, now we know the way how we can help ourselves or we can help someone in my friend and family who have addictive behavior, how the stages on a spiritual or conscious level or higher mental level will go from shame to the joyful mode. And I hope it helps you to be prepared for being addict in your life, um, for your forever, till your last stage of your life. So that's is this is class for today. Next, only last class is left
But
in this course. Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I also want to share. Uh,
yeah.
Whenever I just watch this map of consciousness, it sounds like water in the mouth, and it sounds like for me, I also want to be at the higher level of consciousness. And where I'm lying here, I am at the level of anger yet, and just because yeah, I'm not doing any drug addiction and not addicted with any thing, but any substance, but I just don't like to do, but whenever I do that thing, that work which I don't like, I become in anger. I just want to come out from this, and now I decide to communicate, as I communicate in anger, so I sound like as an angry bird. So I decided to communicate in anger with smiley face, and I will practice on this, and hopeful for this to come out from this.
Yeah. So, are you referring, Javeria, that you become angry, and then you have decided, that how to come out from anger? Is that you mean?
Yeah, I just experience of doing some works like which make me angry, and now I've decided to make a smiley face in anger.
Well, that's a
Okay.
great perspective, Javaria. Look at you running, you're coming up the ladder. You're climbing the map of consciousness or directing it, taking a path.
Uh, yeah, but always remember, Javeria, that for example, if somebody has any emotional state, like somebody is in fear, or somebody is in grief, or somebody is in full of love, um, it we talking about here in addiction perspective, that if anybody is addictive, then how his or her emotion state of any level which is on this map of consciousness will identify his state of mind. But if somebody is angry, it does not mean that he or she is on addiction process or recovery process. Until that person is addictive, um, and that person knows that why he is angry or she is angry because of that addiction, and now he or she needs to work on removing and cuting that addiction, rather than to work on anger. So that needs to decide by that person, that why he or she is angry. So in your case, if you does anger, you become angry, or so you need to know, what is it, this anger is because of your any addictive behavior, uh, which you need to know, or you only the person who knows. And if you identify, yes, I become angry because of my this addiction, from many months or year, I have been, and then you need to start this process of uh, from uh, from how you can go from anger to joyfulness without any this addictive substance which you are involved. So, but this addictive behavior or map of consciousness is not for everyone who is angry, or who is feeling love. So that's I wanted to clarify. I hope it clarifies you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Very welcome. It's a very wise question, by the way, Javedia, you just shared with us. I appreciate it. So if you are watching my video, if you have any question regarding your any addictive behavior or potentially addictive behavior, please share in the comment below. I will try to comment on this. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but at the best knowledge, what I can suggest you, I will do definitely. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time, and I will see you next Sunday, same time on Facebook Live and also on Zoom. And again, once again, Happy New Year and a lot of love, lot of care and respect everyone who is related with me or linked with me, or even if you are not linked with me, no problem. Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Thank you. Have a blessed New
Bye.
Year.
Ah,
Goodbye.
Happy New
Bye.
Year. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Thank
see
you.
ya.